consumer can opt out of that resale?
You might be able to go to contact us on this website, or optoutprescreen.com. I can't remember where their headquarters is at, and write to them. So let's say if you get an offer from the mailbox, make a copy of it, shred the original, mail out to them saying that I want you to contact this company specifically to opt me out from them doing this. Because some companies are not technology savvy, so it's all paper driven or phone calls. So what I mean is that you can actually write to that specific company saying get me off your list.
I'm talking about the bureau that resells that data. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. They sell this. That's how they make their money.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
when you run a mortgage-based credit check, any lending institution does, that information is immediately resold to other lending institutions.
Yeah.
And
Contact
people
the
get
original
driven
source then.
Crazy. I mean, there is no original source. That's just the credit bureaus that take that
Yeah.
credit check and then resell it as an indicator someone's looking to do a refinance.
Yeah. Well, I'm not an expert completely on this kind of stuff, but I know for a fact that
do that? They're shopping at your bank and then they
sell the
go and
subsidiaries.
You
They'll sell
think
the
about it,
subsidiaries.
it's a data point that says you're looking
Yeah.
to refinance your loan.
So
you're
it's
a viable
valuable.
candidate.
Right.
Totally valuable. So they sell it for $10 a shot.
Of course,
10
then they
bucks a
don't. They
record.
may
FICO.
not get the
So,
loan.
for
Yeah.
example, if I'm refinancing with you,
Especially all the good credits above 680s.
in a couple of days
Yeah.
I get a lot of offers from
Yeah.
BFA,
Yeah.
because FICO sold it, not Washington.
Yeah.
Mutual.
Right, FICO, the credit bureau.
Yeah, it's very generalization, guys. I mean, I can't even really give an accurate answer. If you get a credit card in the mailbox or an offer from a mortgage company, just come up individually and say, "Get me off your list." There's no way to control 100%. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. So, but anyway, guys, if you'd be so kind, turn to page 2 of my packet. And we'll talk about these hits here in a minute. Good wizard. Okay. Now this is kind of a summary of what we do for a credit repair, and let you know that later I'll let you know what I charge you, and there's going to be a lot of questions on that. The consultation is free. If you have a client that's got okay to bad credit, they got nothing to lose, but let me take a look at the report. Myself and my people, 6 team members with my company. In other words, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, can I email Robert your report with your permission? Yep. I take a look at it, come up with an action plan. What's going on with the credit? Because again, there are some quick fixes like this, and other stuff that may take a few months to a year, depending on how bad it is. The important thing is I got to take a visual look at it, look at the report. Again, the name could be Fred Smith, for example. There might be some mistakes on there that are not yours. You might have had the lender run it, and you haven't seen your report in 1 or 2 years, not know what's on the report because you haven't taken a look at it yourself. And by going over it line by line, trade line by trade line, come up with an action plan for Fred and his wife, for example, see what we can do to get their credit repaired. Okay? In this business, you can't lie. You can't. If you tell the bureaus that you owe Macy's $2,000 and you say the account's not mine, that's a federal crime. You're looking at time in jail and heavy fines. But there are what we call the Fair Credit Reporting Act laws, the Fair Credit Reporting Act laws of 1970. Okay, and Congress writes the laws every single year, and they say 3 primary things on your report. Again, remember you check your credit 4, 5, 6 times a year for accuracy. Under the Fair Credit Reporting Act laws of 1970, it says anything on your report that is inaccurate, meaning it's not yours, anything that is erroneous, meaning like fraud, or anything that can't be verified must be removed. I love that word verified, meaning that it is your fault, but it takes them too long to verify it, or they just can't find their database. It's got to be removed. Okay. 2 years ago, I tell the story because it's so funny. I had a client that did owe Macy's $2,000, and it was charged off as a loss. And when that amount goes in the past due column, it's like you're below zero. It's like bounce rate, you're below zero. And by some cases, by bringing it up to zero, paying it off or offering a settlement may actually improve your FICO score. Well, this was charged off as a loss. The creditor gave up trying to collect it. And what I mean by a verification process, we use what we call a 37-point verification process, such as where we ask them to validate your social security number, your date of birth, your signature, open date, file date, your address, limit date, all the way around, called 37-point verification. Okay, so when we tried verifying this thing, and the client did say it was my fault. When we did a signature verification, they sent a copy of the application back showing the signature along with signed receipts of 2 years earlier. He says, Robert, it's my fault because nothing in credit repair is 100% effective, getting things removed. Well, a few months later in summer of '05, there was a new law that was implemented under the FCRA that we can actually verify the spelling of the word Macy's. Can anyone tell me why that's misspelled?
No,
Apostrophe.
Right, somebody saw it in my seminar. this little gizmo is missing. And it resulted, about 30 days later, to be more precisely 29 days later, the account was deleted from his report. Because you see that they use a star as their apostrophe. The Macy family started the company. Macy, group of Macy's. Goes back to my grammar days. Apostrophe was missing. It got deleted from his report. Now, why his score jumped a lot of points? Because he actually went up 46 points. Because not only the Macy's thing disappeared, but also $2,000 disappeared along with it. And the next day, when the bureaus wanted to rescore itself, it jumped through the roof. Say, he owed the money. Okay, I'm not saying it works all the time, but we're not lying. Because by making a printout of Macy's homepage, the little star was missing, the apostrophe, and it got deleted. That's funny, huh?
Very funny.
Yeah, you heard that before.
But don't they report it again each month?
No, because it was already a closed deal. Now, if it was an open debt, then it could get re-reported. See, it's called double jeopardy. Once you're found innocent of those charges, you walk out on the courtroom doorstep in front of all the reporters and say, here's a picture, I did do this. They can't try for the same thing twice unless they find a loophole on a different charge. See, Michael Jackson, a good example of that. He got innocent twice with all those child molestation charges. But, so because the account was already charged off as a loss, it was already a done deal. In fact, it was approaching its statute of limitations of 7 years to get deleted. It was like a year and a half of being deleted. But we got deleted earlier because he found a loophole in the FCRA. Okay. So once it's a done deal, paid off, charged off. Now, charged off doesn't always mean closed account. Depends on how old it is, okay? So that's what I mean by that FCRA. That's just one example of what we did.
Robert, I hate to interrupt, but with so many realtors getting here at 12:30,
Yeah.
we are hitting the 1 o'clock time. I know that one person in general has to get going. So I know if,
Yeah.
with your permission, we can continue the class for a little longer than we normally would today. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once I do have to leave, we can talk to you offline.
understand.
Oh, by the way, guys, let me give you, I'll pass out my business cards. This is my cellular phone number. Please use it. In fact, let me pass out my card. I'm never at my office, so please use my cell as often as you can. I've had it for 19 years, so it's not going to change anytime soon. Okay, and so, okay, so we'll move along. So anyone that has to leave, you can call me offline and we can talk more about stuff. So this is just kind of a generalization of the step-by-step process of credit repair. Again, with the client's permission, email me the report, and we'll come up with a free action plan on the phone. We have to come up with an evaluation of the report first, okay? In some cases I can help them, in a lot of cases I can't help them. There's things that you can do to help me help you start your repair process, okay? Such as debt negotiating, do this, don't pay that, pay this, adjust your due date. There's things that we're going to do as we go through the action plan of the report. Okay?
On the 30-some point plan that you had, if you find one error, is that sufficient to have it removed, or what's the requirement?
Yeah.
Any single one?
Yeah, I mean, if you got a 37-point verification, okay, in other words, these are our friends, these are all the bad guys in the middle, credit bureaus, collection agencies, the creditors, etc. And let's say 36 of them, usually the analogy shooting bullets, miss them like this, but my 37th friend over here grazes their shoulder, we won the battle and the war. Meaning we caught some inaccuracy, either apostrophe missing, your name was misspelled, your socials being reported incorrectly, address is incorrect, there's something along that line. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, some of those points are crucial, social,
Yeah.
date of birth.
Exactly.
But, I mean, it could be something very minor. You're saying even a minor
Like apostrophe.
is sufficient to do it.
Mhm.
And so
The big ones are, okay, Mr. Collection Agency, I want you to verify the amount of debt that you say that I owe you, the account number, the filing, open date, what's the credit limit date? I mean, there's several other factors that are main ones, and the apostrophe is like way down here. But again, this one is low, like the apostrophe, but it was true under the FCRA. It was inaccurate.
So when you find an accuracy, you're saying you go back to credit lender, shouldn't you say, this is inaccurate, therefore it's not my client, or you don't have the right to collect, or what's the process?
No, again, see, collection debt's a whole different thing. I mean, if you owe the money, I can't erase debt, okay? But like him owing Macy's $2,000, it was beyond its statute of limitations of collecting debt at that point. They gave up. We were just going to report for another 6-7 years as a debt account, showing past due $2,000. But they went like this and gave up. They walked away.
But who you sent the inaccuracy
To the bureaus.
But to the bureaus,
Right.
not to the
Because
Okay.
I sent to the bureaus, and they're required to send the electronic verification to the creditor. They don't verify within a period of time, or we find a loophole of. Now, I know for a